What did Democrats sound like before Trump?
First, illegal immigration is wrong, and a primary goal of comprehensive immigration reform must be to dramatically curtail future illegal immigration. Second, operational control of our borders through significant additional increases in infrastructure, technology, and border personnel must be achieved.
They sounded exactly like Trump. What is DACA? It started as an executive order passed by President Barack Obama in 2012. Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals. Deferred means to put off, postpone, or delay. So it's actually in the name that it's not permanent. Did Obama think that he should use an executive order for something like this?
With respect to the notion that I can just suspend deportations through executive order, that's just not the case because there are laws on the books that Congress has passed. And I know that everybody here at Bell is studying hard, so you know that we've got three branches of government. Congress passes the law. The executive branch's job is to enforce and implement those laws. And then the judiciary has to interpret the laws. There are enough laws on the books by Congress that are very clear in terms of how we have to enforce our immigration system, that for me to simply, through executive order, ignore those congressional mandates would not conform with my appropriate role as president.
I taught the Constitution for 10 years. I believe in the Constitution, and I will obey the Constitution of the United States. We're not going to use signing statements as a way of doing an end run around Congress.
Beforehand, clearly not. Then he actually said that DACA was not a path to citizenship and it was not amnesty.
Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people. Over the next few months, eligible individuals who do not present a risk to national security or public safety will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization. Now, let's be clear. This is not amnesty. This is not immunity. This is not a path to citizenship. It's not a permanent fix.
Those are a few things that you're not going to hear on the mainstream media, and you're certainly not going to hear on the news featured section on social media. Statistically speaking, who are the DACA dreamers? It's roughly 700,000 to 800,000 people. The average age is 24 to 25, and they're mostly in California and Texas. Trump has shocked his haters and disappointed a large portion of his support base by saying many times that he supports a path to citizenship for the DACA recipients. He supports amnesty for the DACA recipients. He's actually stuck up for them many times and said some really nice things. Does anybody really want to throw out the good, educated, and accomplished young people who have jobs, some serving in the military? Really? They have been in our country for many years through no fault of their own, brought in by parents at young age. Plus big border security. This sounds like a pitch to a support base, although I have to say factually, it was reported that slightly more than 1/10% actually joined the military, but that's not important. The truth is, Obama said he wouldn't use an executive order for something like that.
How we have to enforce our immigration system, that for me to simply, through executive order, ignore those congressional mandates would not conform with my appropriate role as president.
He used an executive order for something like that. He said it wasn't a path to citizenship and it wasn't amnesty.
Now, let's be clear. This is not amnesty. This is not immunity. This is not a path to citizenship. It's not a permanent fix.
Trump, on the other hand, says he will grant them amnesty and he will give them a path to citizenship, unlike Obama, who said he wouldn't do that. Then Obama's in the news acting like Trump is such a terrible person.
Continues, ultimately, this is about basic decency.
Chuck Schumer acts like Trump is such a terrible person when he sounded exactly like Trump. Trump wants to make a deal that will go against a lot of his support base, but the Democrats don't want to compromise. So all I'm saying is, how is Trump the bad guy here? How did the media twist this so far from what it actually is to make this whole situation upside down world? Every day the mainstream media, including now the news sections on Facebook, Twitter, and Google, are lopsided trash rags of hate, bias, negativity, and flat out inaccuracy. They want everybody to believe that Trump is the worst guy ever, that everything bad in America and everything bad in the world starts and ends with Trump. It's simply not true. And their actions are actually empowering the far right, making Trump even more popular. I don't care if people like Donald Trump. I don't care if people don't like Donald Trump. To be honest, I don't really care. What I do care about is solutions, unity, and the truth. We don't all need to agree, but this crazy weird idea that's been drilled into our head by the fake news media and corporate sold-out politically driven media, which are now pressuring social media hard and trying to swallow up the internet, censor people, delete videos, and turn Facebook, Google, and Twitter into CNN and MSNBC. I'm just tired of that. And it's not going to work. And it's not helpful. And it's not accurate. And it's not fair. They use illegals, the LGBT community, the black community, the women's community, the liberal community. They use everybody as a political prop. And both sides of the political spectrum do it. But call me crazy, I just want a real discussion. I don't want us to be pawns of a big political game that never ends up actually helping us. As for this DACA situation, personally, I think it's the perfect place for a compromise. Compromise meaning both sides don't get exactly what they want. The Republicans and Donald Trump and the Democrats. Trump is willing to compromise. Democrats don't want to compromise. Because now that a deal is on the table, all of a sudden, the dreamers aren't the number one priority. I'm all for peace, love, equality, and being kinder to each other. But like many others, I'm so over this political correctness, which means virtue signaling and saying things not to offend anybody and acting like you're a better person just because you pander to certain ethnicities. I don't want that. I want the kindness. I want the love. That stuff is long overdue and I'm totally on board. But I also want the truth, even if it's the hard truth. I don't want to be showered with lies. That's not going to help anybody. It's not going to help the DACA recipients. And it's certainly not going to help the millions of American dreamers and dreamers all over the world who have a dream, just like those being thrown around the media. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Try to be as nice as possible. Don't come in and being rude and start yelling and being mean. But let me know what you think. Most importantly, much love to you. God bless you. God bless your family. God bless America. And God bless the world. We're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations and especially controversial subjects that we're all going to be talking about. So let's talk about them without so much hate, so much negativity, and so much bias to the point where blame Donald Trump for everything in the world becomes the new status quo. Because it doesn't make any sense. I'm sorry. It just doesn't. Thank you for listening. Thank you for considering. If you'd like to support my news analysis, look in the comment section or look below the title. Have a good week.